Joining us on a special T.A.C podcast tonight in memory of Toonami are five people. One is Angel Elric, who is the creator of Fruits Basket Abridged.
Hi.
Next up is creator of Black Cat the Abridged series, Count Abyss.
Meow.
Hey. Oh, boy.
Next up, from the toonzone.net website, is a person known as Jacob.
I think. Hello.
Next is from Team Toonami, who helps create One Piece More Better Abridged sketch.
Yo!
And finally, another One Piece creator who does One Piece The Abridged series, Toon Lord.
Hey, how's it going?
To start the evening off, a lot of us have known Toonami probably since the beginning, and some of us have known it since probably mid-Toonami. So, to first start off the evening, when was it for you that got you started watching Toonami?
I'm trying to think because it was like a really long time ago. Probably around junior high when I was at least 14. I think I started paying more attention to Toonami because I think that's when Tenchi was airing at the time, and I started watching it. Then I got into Dragon Ball Z and Yu Yu Hakusho, and that's probably when I just started paying more attention to it.
Alright. As for myself, I used to watch it at times when I went down to my grandparents. I wasn't really watching it that much. I watched the Ronin Warriors and Thundercats and Voltron when that came on, every time I visited my grandparents. And I didn't really start watching Cartoon Network and Toonami in general is when around Dragon Ball Z came on Toonami. And that's around when I got the channel where I live. And that's when I got addicted to Toonami myself.
I believe I began watching in 1998. I first show I saw was Dragon Ball, and I kind of followed that, and over the years would watch the other shows that were also on Toonami.
When it first started up, I caught it on occasion, kind of like with Count. You know, didn't see it that often. Went to somebody else's house, saw it, enjoyed it for what it was. But I didn't really kick into Toonami fandom until about 2000, when Gundam Wing came along. Been watching ever since.
For me, I don't remember the exact date or year or whatever, but I remember it was back in the good old days of Moltar. I was in grade school, I remember, because I had to walk home every day, and I would always rush home just to see that block, and that was a big thing. I think I still have an old archaic videotape with Moltar on it.
Alright, and as for me, probably the same as Toon Lord as well, but I was probably at least 10 years old when Toonami was going on, and probably like when they were showing like all the Thundercats episodes, and I think they also had Voltron as well when they were playing it. And what really got me interested was when Tom came in and they started doing all the bumpers and all that. And it was just neat listening to the music and watching a lot of anime because, yeah, that's where I got most of my anime craze from. So anyways, that is when I got first started. And to move on to the next discussion, what was your favorite part about the Toonami lineup?
Favorite part? Probably back in the day when I was in high school, it was probably Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z back to back to each other. That was really cool. And then there'd be Yu Yu Hakusho. Those are like the main shows I remember because those like the main ones I watched. So yeah, that was always really fun.
I have to say Toonami Action Saturdays that they used to play every Saturday night was probably my favorite lineup because it played all the good stuff like Big O, Outlaw Star, DBZ, and all that. That probably is my favorite lineup.
God, there's been so many. I'd have to say, a year ago when they had both Naruto airing relatively uncut, One Piece, the new Funimation dub, and I believe they were also airing reruns of Dragon Ball Z, although I didn't really stay up late to watch that half the block.
I have had many favorite variations of Toonami, though I wasn't quite sure what you meant by the question, because one of my favorite parts of Toonami is the block itself, the atmosphere, how it's a show in itself. But if we're going by lineups, let's see. My favorite times have been in 2000 when they were playing Gundam Wing, DBZ, Sailor Moon, Ronin Warriors, Tenchi, Batman, Superman. Later on, Big O, other Gundams. And another key high point, in my opinion, was the March 2003 revamp that added Yu Yu Hakusho and Rurouni Kenshin, along with the last of DBZ, and you got to see more G Gundam. Yeah, it was reruns,
Hmm.
but that was 2 hours that I looked forward to every day, and I
Same
think I
here.
might have tapes. And then they added Cyborg 009 for a little while. That was cool too. And honestly, I really liked the first year of the Saturday night Toonami when they had Megas and Gundam Seed and the new Yu Yu Hakusho and even stuff like Duel Masters. That was great. And also the 2005 fall lineup with Naruto, Bobobo, IDPX, on and off with Justice League Unlimited. And like Jacob, I also liked the unfortunately short 2-hour block that was two Naruto, Funimation One Piece, and DBZ, because it was only 2 hours, but dang if that wasn't a good 2 hours.
Hmm.
Bumpers sucked, though.
Yeah.
I personally can't choose a favorite because I love them all, except for the last ones. That I'd have to exclude the bumpers with the whole new age Tom with the fat guy and the not so fat guy and the guy with the wheel. I'd have to exclude that from the favorites, but other than that, everything was personally my favorite. I suppose like high points were Outlaw Star, the Gundams.
Let's see, some of my fondest memories of Toonami. Really the whole thing. It introduced me to a lot of animes. It got me into anime, really, with shows like Dragon Ball Z, Gundam, Outlaw Star, all those big ones. Uh, one of my fondest memories would have to be um, when Tom 1 died. When Tom 1 died, I remember that. But then Tom 2 came in, followed by Tom 3. Tom 2 and 3 were awesome. Tom 4 creeps me out. The face is just not good. Tom shouldn't have a face. It's always the visor.